This dog has... He has his own dog bed. And he comes right to mine. Well, I may not know where I'm going. Hell, I couldn't tell you where I've been. I scored a bunch of free 4x4s down in the port, started cutting them up to make my blocking pile logs, save a little money there. Also saved a little money getting broken pavers for half off down at the Home Depot to sit my logs on. I went and rented a trailer. One of the reasons for renting a trailer instead of buying one is I'm not going to need it for, maybe over a year. And I didn't want to worry about bearings or tires or rebuilding a trailer, losing everything because I tried to go cheap. So I went ahead and found a trailer rental company in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I'll post a link to them. They were really good. I've used them before. When I built my dock, I actually used pontoon trailers, but I rented it $450 for the week, and then just headed on north to Apalachicola, just like I'd done the week before. Just cruised up, listened to some books on tape. It took a lot longer than the Google estimate, I'll tell you that. But I had the dog with me, got up there. I posted a video of downrigging the boat and everything that entailed, but, got the boat on the trailer after 7 or 8 tries and having to adjust a lot of things. And then drove back home, had the boat, and now I'm ready to block her up. So here we go. Okay, so what we have here is our blocking stack. We got to get it nice and even in there. It's just basically think of this as life or death Jenga. So if I do it wrong, the boat falls, I potentially die. But anyway, what we have is we have a concrete pad on a bed of crushed concrete that I laid down a couple years ago. This is my trailer parking area. So I have a concrete pad down that I tried to get pretty level. And then I have some pressure treated 4x4s on the bottom layer, just so that the stuff near the ground doesn't get much bug intrusion. For these upper layers, they're not pressure treated. I don't know what kind of wood this is. I got it from a dunnage pile in the port from a ship that came in, cut it up. So I think it's been fumigated, but I don't think it's been treated with anything. So I'm gonna spray all sorts of cancer-causing bug killer on it, and then hopefully save my receipts. And when they do class action lawsuits, in a couple years for all the horrible death and cancer it causes, maybe I can retire early. We'll find out. But so I'll take you through stacking and making some of these stacks, and then we'll put one under the keel and get the stern of the boat lifted first, then we'll work on lifting the bow. Okay, so I need to make sure that once I stack it, it's not going to interfere with my stuff. Also, to line up about under there. To stack it on these barnacles. If I had more time, I'd probably scrape the boat and get it all prepped before I did all this, but this trailer's a rental. And so I want to get it off the trailer, get the trailer returned, head back out on my tugboat, and then I'll come back to this another time. But just like before, just playing a game of life or death Jenga, making sure it's gonna stack up nice. Plenty of room. Once the load's pretty dispersed, you know, it's crazy, but make sure these are all the same size, shape. So I made 16-inch ones and I made 12-inch ones. You know, in some areas, maybe I'll use a 12-inch by 12-inch or a 16-inch by 16-inch. I just wanted options. And what it looked like is that in this area, having them long ways is going to be the way to go. But I might make some square stacks in another area, so we'll find out. I don't think I'm going to be able to get another one in there on this side. Well, that'll fit nice. So what we'll do, to get one that fits a little flatter, there we go. I'll have some cedar shims cut. I have some 1-inch pieces cut. I have some 2-inch. So once we get it up, we'll try to get it in and then shim it in and get her level. Okay. So then here, there's not much of a keel to this boat, but there is, you know, this piece right here. I think I want to support that as well. All right. Okay, so now the stern of my boat is up. So now I'm gonna start figuring out what I want to do with my blocking. Get my shims ready. Okay, so it ended up getting a little too crazy for constantly messing around with the camera. But to explain how I got it off, to make it simple, remember we raised the back of the boat and put the blocking under. Then I needed to raise the front of the boat, get a piece under. That piece is wider, that's what this beam is. It's wider than the width of the trailer. So that trailer could just pull out. So we got it up a ways, and then we were pretty stumped for a while there, but what we did is I used my 2 bottle jacks. And if you see, now it's got these, but it didn't have these. It had this bottle jack inside that slot on both sides. We raised that beam up, adding wood till it raised up enough, got the trailer out, and then went ahead and added more blocking, then took that bottle jack out. So you can see the other side's like that too, and then I added more blocking in the middle. Then these other smaller spots up here on the bow, there's a couple on the sides, those are just 2x4s. They're not taking a lot of load. My idea with those is that if the boat did start to wiggle, they could take up some of the load. I might nail some stuff. I need to get the centerboard out and this beam we got, I wanted to get it on these runners to make it easy, but I think what I'm going to do eventually is make some more blocking, pull that beam out, and then notch it, and so that next time it sits flush. And because I don't like all the weight just being on those two spots, but it's gonna have to come out anyway at some point, because I'm gonna drop the centerboard out. It's one of the issues the boat has, that the centerboard's stuck. And what's neat about that is a boat I had, my first sailboat I got, my first big boat that I lived on, I had a stuck centerboard, but it was an 18-foot wide trimaran. And so the problem with the trimaran is that I couldn't get it out anywhere, whereas now I'm out of the water. So this is the progress I wanted to do on my trimaran. I never got to it. Now I've got to it with this. So luckily it's summertime, so it's going to be just brutally hot. That's great for me. But we're going to start on the bottom, get some of the stuff going, get the boat cleaned out, and we'll go through that. But yeah, so we're blocked up. I'll go return the trailer. I did have to shore up a couple of the spots back aft. Actually, one of the blocking piles was didn't have any load on it at all. That blocking I did under that keel there takes a lot of load. I'm really glad I added that one in. Yeah, so some of these don't have pressure treated on the bottom because it's like $10 for a 4x4, and I didn't have any more. I didn't want to buy some more, so. But I do have diatomaceous earth that I'm going to sprinkle around, and that is going to make it to where any bug that crawls through there dies. And then I'm also going to coat everything with just some insect killer. I really don't want bugs crawling up onto the boat, so I'm going to treat all these bases. Basically, this diatomaceous earth is, I believe it's fossilized plankton or something like that. Out of it. I'm just sprinkling it around the base of everything. And I'm gonna use some of the traditional stuff. Okay, so that's the basics of getting a boat, down rigging it, driving it 300 miles, putting it on blocks, and getting ready for a year or two of work fixing it up, and then hopefully you'll have something awesome.